Hello and welcome to the Superhero Hub. I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and today we're going to be reviewing,
Prison Break.
episode 5, Contingency. Now, pretty much everything's gone to the dogs, as it were. The whole city's kind of all over the place. It follows up from last episode. The gang have got a bounty on their head of 10 million like real. So I decided to convert it into actual money, and I swear it's only like $300, but I might be
How
wrong.
much is it in pounds? What are you expecting dollars for?
I don't know. I didn't check that.
Why would you not check that?
Well, I thought it'd be more relevant to translate it into dollars.
You're out of your mind.
Well, it's an American show, isn't it?
We're not Americans, fool.
So whatever. So yeah, they're kind of on the run. All their escape routes are kind of blocked off. You've got Sheba and Sino at the airport. The airport's been taken over, so they've managed to kind of waylay everybody. Really, it's like a game of cat and mouse everywhere. You got Cyclops' boys like chasing after him, and then Cyclops he gets loud off because he's only got one eye, so it's like, okay, then I'll go after him myself. And it just happens that he clocks to notice that they're going to escape on the northern border along the train. They're going to hop a train, so they end up kind of planning to do that, but then they get waylaid again, and then it's really like split up between them at the train yard and Sino and Sheba at the airport. Then back in America, you've got Sara kind of discovering the truth, as it were. Teabag shows her the pictures, and it's like, oh my god, I'm just gonna run to the parents' house, grabs the kid, and it just so happens that he turns up at the same time. And then he tries to kind of spin some sort of yarn, rubbish story. So instead of running for the hills, she ends up going to her best mate's house and like talking about it. You know, she's rabbiting on, yentering all about it, and it's just like, yo, why wouldn't you just get as far away from everything as possible?
I don't know. Is the best friend in on it as well?
I don't really know, but what I thought was interesting is that kind of why they're trying to back in Yemen, when they're all trying to plan where they're gonna go. Like Lincoln grips Michael up, dragged him into next room, and said, "Yo, what's going on?" You know what I mean? And we finally kind of find out that he faked his death, and when I think it's before Sara gets thrown into like prison in that final break, as it were. So pretty much the season finale, the main series, before like the 2 episode special edition of her being in prison, that he was approached by Poseidon, and it was like, Paul Kellerman hasn't got the authority to kind of commute your prison sentences, but if you work for us, kind of busting people out of jail, we'll hook you up, that kind of joint. And then is like, no, I'm not on it, and that's why she kind of gets stitched up and thrown in jail. So when he breaks her out, even though it still didn't explain anything about, you know, the brain tumor in his head or how he survived getting electrocuted, but it was kind of feasible, I guess, him faking his death and kind of being approached by them. So yeah, that's where he's kind of been for the past 7 years.
It's a bit convoluted, though, isn't it? I'm half asleep listening to you say it, but honestly, I had to do it. I'm glad I did that with Lincoln. It's finally got to a point where, yeah, your brother did like fake his death. Like you would demand to know the truth before you moved on. I'm glad they did that. And I'm also kind of glad they had the other guy as well, sort of going on, point out how kind of stupid it was as well. Because as much as you would do it, there is a time and a place. And the thing is, Lincoln, I imagine, must be pretty pissed. Like, no one listens to this dude. He says the entire time they need to go to the airport. And Michael decides he knows best. And because of it, they nearly all get killed. And I suppose Michael does normally know best, but he doesn't in this case.
Well, if
I
that
don't.
Cyclops guy, if they took Cyclops with them, then they would have been like on the other side or wherever. So really, it was just the fact that Cyclops was kind of.
Would they? They were trapped though, weren't they?
I don't look.
Because Michael, he found that like the hatch or wherever it was, the way out, but it was blocked, wasn't it? Because he tried to escape, so he couldn't have got out anyway.
That was back in the school, or some sort of building. Because yeah, they escaped the prison. They escaped like on the train thing, and there's a really all moment where they're jumping the tracks, and it's kind of real close, and then they end up going to some abandoned like. I don't really know where they were. I thought it was a school, but there was like rubbing alcohol in there. So I'm starting to like the kind of people who broke out of prison a little more. We're starting to kind of them hanging about. I'm starting to warm to them a little bit more. Obviously, you had the Korean guy singing like proper into Queen and like setting fire to them other people. Um, well, well, I think they were meant to jump that train like way before, but like they turned up and kind of blocked them off, so they couldn't do it. So I mean, if Cyclops weren't about, then they would have got out easy.
I'm still not convinced. I think Lincoln had the best plan, and it wasn't. They didn't even consider it. Not even a conversation, right?
Yeah, but it's fair enough to assume that they've just met Lincoln, but really
And
like.
Michael hasn't. I don't care about the rest of them.
Yeah, but Michael's kind of been like, look, he's been in prison with them for like 4 years, so like they're all going to follow him. Of course, he's going to be outvoted. Really, they assumed the airport was going to get locked off, and that did get locked off straight away. So how were they to know that just randomly?
Everything's going to be locked off, though, isn't it?
Well, no, the train wasn't. That was all clear until Cyclops turned up.
Which is convenient. Like I don't like the way they write some of these guys because no, the bad guys that is because like that that scene where the one ass like Lincoln for his boots was so stupid. I mean, is that really going to happen?
I guess not. So I
Oh,
mean,
give me your boots. No, they're the only ones he's got. I don't care. Give me the boots. Then really, I don't think so. And
no.
they get to a fight. Come on.
Well, it was just one of them things that I
One of
guess.
the things that was badly written. Yeah.
I guess so, but you can't expect all of it to be perfect. So I mean,
No one expects it to be perfect, but that's not good.
so
That's
yeah.
stupid.
Fast forward into the end, they finally managed to be like, okay, we'll go to the airport, but then the plane leaves early, which is reminiscent of like um, the the final scene of season 1, where a Bruce's plane flies off early without them and leaves them like, oh whoops, we got to dash everywhere. So the plane has to leave because obviously it's got all the people on there as well, all the girls that they're planning to kind of get out of there. So that flies off. I'd just be like, yo, fly like 10 minutes down the road, land somewhere, and we'll meet you there. But obviously not. So Sino and Sheba leave on the plane, and then they're stuck at the gate staring like deers in headlights as the cars come towards them. So they've dashed off into darkness. Then kind of back in America, the I'm just going to call him Poseidon, or uh, Sarah's new guy or whatever, and it's just like, oh yeah, I decided to pay him off, pay the assassins off like 50,000 to leave us alone. They'll put a tracker in there, and the police picked him up, and they're in the whole lineup, and it's just like, and she just believes him. I was just thinking,
No,
come
she
on,
doesn't.
knock him off. I
She
don't
doesn't
know.
believe it. There's no way. You saw her face at the end when she hugged him. She'd believe him. She's just going along with it. What else could she do? She's not going to run out of the police station. I mean, admittedly, she was stupid to go in there in the first place, but once she's done it, I don't think she believes him at all, but she hasn't really got a choice. I I don't think anyone's meant to believe he's actually a good guy at this point. He's clearly the villain, and I think he is Poseidon.
What if it turns out he is like a good guy and it is really mistaken identity?
Well, he's still going to die anyway, so who cares?
Okay, let's talk numbers.
Um, I'll go with a 7.5. I thought it was still stronger. It wasn't as good as last week, but Still not bad. Like I say, some of the writing for the villains I think is a bit hokey. I do think they should listen to Lincoln every now and again. The
Yeah.
guy has come all this way to try and. I mean, you don't have to go through with his plan, but the guy has come all this way to try and save your ass. At least have some common decency. But aside from that, not bad.
I'll give it a 7. Nothing really happened except for like Sid getting shot, and obviously his dead body's handcuffed to Cyclops now. So that'll be kind of interesting. What if that kind of develops into something? Who knows? But obviously our main character's down. But apart from that, nothing really happens. So 7.
Main character is a bit of a strong word to use, isn't it?
Well, he's not minor, is he? I'm Sam.
Yeah, he is very minor.
I'm
He's the definition of a minor character,
I'm Sam.
and I'm not.
I'm not even gonna gratify that with a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode.